your name and tell us about your project.
My name is Robert Wilson, and I won the Nobel Prize for Physics in 1978, along with my partner, Arno Penzias, for discovering cosmic background radiation.
Where did the project or experiment occur?
I worked for Bell Labs in Holmdel, New Jersey in the 60s, and we kind of stumbled upon our discovery by accident. Around the time that I came on with them in 1962, the Telstar satellite had emerged, essentially making ECHO obsolete. ECHO is a satellite transmission system that collects and amplifies weak radio signals and is then able to bounce them off of these large metallic balloons that are high up in our atmosphere and can then send signals across long distances. This basically gave Arno and myself the opportunity to explore our interests and use the equipment solely for research purposes.
What was your role in the project?
Myself and Arno were the lead scientists on this project. Using ECHO, we set out to explore the space between galaxies and ended up discovering cosmic background radiation.
What were you guys trying to do or find?
Prior to my employment at Bell Labs, I had been exploring radio signals from the Milky Way using masers, microwave amplification by stimulated emission of radiation, and Arno had also been working with masers, so naturally we were both excited to jump on this project. Initially, we had set out to map radio signals from the Milky Way. When we first began to use the antenna, we noticed this noise almost like static from a radio. It was in the microwave range and seemed to be coming from all directions. Before we could even begin our research, we needed to get rid of this noise, so we began to rule out all possible sources. At first, we thought that maybe it was all the hustle and bustle of New York City. We pointed the satellite right at the city and ran some tests. It wasn't that. Then we thought it was from all the nuclear testing going on. Maybe it was the aftermath from all that radiation, but it wasn't that either. We checked possible interference from the Van Allen belts. It was not radiation from our galaxy. It was not extraterrestrial. We then thought that maybe the equipment was defective, so we completed basic maintenance and even ended up replacing large sections of the antenna. It wasn't that. We even thought that it could have been the pigeons that were living inside the antenna, so we caught them with a metal trap and cleaned up after them, and the noise was still there. After 4 seasons and lots of troubleshooting and observations, we determined that there was nothing wrong with the machine and that the static was not just some random noise, that it was supposed to be there.
Who else was involved in this project?
At this time, we had contacted Robert Dickey over at Princeton. He had been looking for evidence that supported the Big Bang Theory. Robert believed that all the residue from this initial explosion should be low-level background radiation throughout the universe. I myself had trained in the steady-state theory and believed that the universe was without beginning or end, but our research contradicted my initial beliefs and suggested that the Big Bang Theory was, in fact, plausible.
What other significant events were happening around the world at that time?
There were a lot of significant events happening around the world at the time of our discovery. Astronaut John Glenn was the first American to orbit the Earth. Marilyn Monroe died from a drug overdose. We almost engaged in nuclear warfare with the Soviet Union.
What impact did your project have on the physics compact community?
Our discovery essentially paved the way for cosmology everywhere. At the time, it was not considered credible for scientists to study the universe, and we made it possible to learn information about the cosmic process that took place over 14 billion years ago. The cosmic background radiation that we discovered is now universally referred to as the Standard Model. We brought relevance to the Big Bang Theory and the creation of our universe. The possibilities are endless.
One last question. Do you still have the trap that you caught the pigeons in?
I do. I actually loaned it to the Smithsonian, and you can find it in their Air and Space Museum, along with some other artifacts from our project. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.